day. I hope your families are doing well. It's another beautiful Saturday morning, a little bit cold out today, but still beautiful nonetheless. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Enjoy today. Now, with that said, I want to bring something to your attention really quickly this morning. If you remember, we've been talking about how fuel costs, the rising fuel costs, could impact small trucking companies and small freight brokers. It's already having an effect on trucking companies, not so much big freight brokerages. Yes, it's starting to affect small freight brokerages now, and that's directly related to rates, right? So fuel cost rises, so we just can't say, okay, that now that the fuel cost is rising, we can still give the same rates. Doesn't pass the common sense test, right? Right. So we have to increase rates. Now, as we mentioned, shippers are going to be resistant to you increasing rates. Why? Because shippers are in the business of trying to get the best rate for their freight. And we can't knock them for that. They have a freight spend that they try and adhere to every year, every month. So we understand that. We understand it's their job to try to get their freight moved for the cheapest amount. But at the same time, we have a job. We have to, as freight brokers, go in and give a price that's going to work for the carrier, work for the shipper, and work for the freight broker, right? So our responsibility is to come in and take a look at the lane, the dynamics in that lane, and also understand that now fuel costs has increased. We can't do those lanes at the same rate. That just can't work. It cannot work that way. The numbers will not work out for you if you go that route. I just had a trucker recently come in and confirm on one of those videos. He says, yes, fuel costs are rising, and guess what's happening? Rates are decreasing. He said on the dry van side of the house, that's what he's starting to see. Now, that does not surprise me. Why? Because shippers are always trying to get the best price, and they're resistant to increasing rates. So how can we combat this? What should we do as small freight brokers, small trucking companies? Well, here's what we're doing. When we give a rate, we give one rate, a line haul rate. Now, when you're looking at rates are comprised of two parts, a line haul rate plus a fuel surcharge. But we're only giving a line haul rate. How much can Alliance Logistics pick this load up and deliver it for? What is the cost for the line haul only? Remember, we're not giving a total rate, only giving a line haul rate. And we give that to the shipper. When the shipper comes back and says, oh, okay, this is a solid rate, we want to make sure that they understand that this is the line haul rate only, and the fuel surcharge will need to be added to this rate. Now, shippers know when you say, hey, I'm giving you a line haul rate, that doesn't include the fuel surcharge. All I'm saying is just make sure that your line haul rate is understood as a line haul rate only, and then come back and add your fuel surcharge after you've given a line haul rate. That way, you're separating those two charges, because what shippers often do is they'll say, okay, when you send them a rate, right, they'll break that rate down into a line haul rate and a fuel surcharge. So let's just say you gave a rate of $1,000 in the lane. You're giving an all-in rate, right? What the shipper will do is to break your all-in rate down to a line haul rate plus a fuel surcharge. Now, here's the problem with that. Sometimes when you give a rate, you don't include the fuel surcharge. You're just basically doing the numbers on what it's going to cost you to move that load from point A to point B. And then they go in and break it down to the line haul and the fuel surcharge. That is why I'm saying just give them and let them know that you're only giving a line haul rate. Your line haul rate, what it's going to cost you to pick up and deliver the load. And then have them come back and add the surcharge to that rate. To me, that is going to be a better option, especially right now in this environment that we're in, because it breaks down those two different rates and let you see it for what it is. You know that I'm only charging you a line haul rate. This is what it's going to cost to pick up and deliver. This is what it's going to cost for the fuel. When you break those two down, you can see those numbers clearly, and you know whether or not those numbers will work. Now, for me, this is a more accurate way of getting rates. My business depends on how accurate I am with providing rates back to my shippers. If I'm accurate, I get paid a nice profit. If I'm not, I don't. So we must sharpen the pen. We must understand the difference between these rates, the line haul and the fuel surcharge, to make sure you're getting what you're supposed to get. That's what I wanted to share with you today. If you're already doing something that's working, keep doing it. If it's not working, then you might want to give this a try. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It gives you a chance to come into the office with me, watch over my shoulders, I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. And then if you want to learn more about how to transition from a part-time freight broker to a full-time freight broker, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.